This is Two Takes, One Marriage.
I'm Jonah.
And I'm Susan.
We'll be talking about whatever is on our minds.
The random thoughts, the funny stuff, and the conversations that probably didn't need microphones.
Real love,
real life,
really funny.
Welcome back, babe. How you doing?
Good. We're back and fully operational.
Yeah. No technical difficulties this time. Screwed away on the computer.
And we're not late this week.
Yeah, we're not late this week. This week was an easy week, but I did have 2 ideas pop into my head for episodes. So I'm already like 2 weeks ahead. So if I can just kind of keep that momentum, we should be good about being on time. Because sometimes we don't record because I have no idea and I don't know. Sometimes I'm just like, what is there to do? So before we get into it, let's hop to our Brave section. What is new? Anything crazy happening in the Brave?
Bear with me this week. I got a bit of a runny nose. Anyways, we're still the best team in baseball right now. We still have not yet lost a series. We're on our longest away stretch right now out west. We just
Didn't we just do a sweep though?
Yeah, we just swept
our very first sweep of the season.
No, we swept Philly when we were in Philly a few weeks ago.
Okay.
So it was our second sweep. We swept oh my goodness.
The Rockies.
The Rockies, yes. We had a big comeback win on Friday. And Matt Olson is just smashing balls right now. Michael Harris is dealing with a quad injury, but he's been coming in off of the bench and hit a big 2-run homer to give us the lead on Friday night. We had some unfortunate things happen to Acuna on Saturday, though. He stressed his left hamstring. It's not a tear, so he's just on a 10-day IL, which it's good for things like that to happen right now because how good our lineup has been. So
The only other.
It'll be good for him to get the rest that he needs.
There's only one person ever that I think that we never liked, that we never have liked.
No. Oh.
And when he comes out, his last name is
I don't
a faux pas.
I don't even know I would have signed him, but the last name he has. We've never been a big fan of Aaron Bummer, and every time he gets put out there, I'm like, oh, there goes our lead, or there goes our shutout. So
yeah, because I saw him 2 to 3 years ago. I can't remember.
He came over 2 years ago. We signed him.
So yeah,
I
saw him 2 years ago against the Milwaukee Brewers. I went to 2 games in a row because one, we got seats from my cousin. They weren't using their.
This was before we were together.
Yeah, that was before we were together. I went with my mom for both games. The first one was their seasonal, or they were season pass holders or whatever. I don't know. And they couldn't go to that game, but they had tickets for that game. So I was like, heck yeah, I want to go to that game because I'm a huge fan of the Brewers. I enjoy the Brewers. I don't know. They just have this vibe about them that I really like them. And I kind of like an underdog, and they're more of an underdog type team, even though the past 2 years they've been really doing well. But I think it's the team that they have and the camaraderie that they have that's kind of changed that for them. But yeah, I went to the game. Aaron Bummer came out. They went through like 6 pitchers that whole game. But when Aaron Bummer came out, I swear the Brewers had like 6 runs. It was crazy. And then we went to the next game. Same thing happened. He came out on the field. He was running bases. And I was like...
Yeah, he's not much of a strikeout guy. He's more of a ground out person, but they can just hit home runs off him like crazy. every time he's come out this year, I think they've hit a home run off him. So
Yeah, it was bad. So anytime he comes out, we say, "Oh, what a bummer."
yeah.
Basically. And
But anyways, we have great news. Our boy Sean Murphy is back in the lineup tonight. So excited about that. Strider pitched on Sunday. It wasn't the best outing. I mean, he only gave up 2 runs, but he drew a lot of walks. Oh yeah, I mean,
Couldn't stand
Jonah Heim's not doing the best on defense, but he's had some good bats this year. But he's been a fill-in spot waiting for Murphy to come back. But yeah. So Sean's coming back to lineup tonight. We're starting our series in Seattle, and then we go and see what we're made of against the defending champs and the Dodgers later this week. Excited to see if we can keep winning our series and stay the only team that has lost a series.
excited to see. The Brewers have been doing good from what I've seen. I haven't really been keeping up very strictly with their scoring. I just get the notifications sometimes if they win or they lose, but nothing really. I think they have lost a series. I feel sure they've lost maybe 1 or 2, but I don't know the semantics of that. Right. Anything else before we jump into it?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. So there's 2 that you can choose from. Also, trigger warning, this is an episode that will be about a murder mystery or like just a mystery. So there might be things that are discussed that you might not be comfortable with. This is your warning. If you don't want to hear anything about, murder or anything like that, this is the time to stop listening. And we'll catch you next episode. But that's putting that out there. So we have a disappearance out of a bar where there's one door, but you never see them leave. Then you have a hotel disappearance in a very famous hotel.
The Tower of Terror.
Funny.
Let's do the hotel disappearance.
Okay, the hotel disappearance. Okay, this is the disappearance of Eliza Lamb. That's the story we're covering. If you know it, awesome, great. It is somewhat a well-known story. It was in 2013. Imagine you're staying at a hotel, and then all of a sudden you hear all these guests complaining about the water tastes strange and that, there's just something weird going on. And so they send people up to the roof.
Yeah.
And they find a missing person in one of the water tanks on the roof. So.
One of the water tanks on the roof.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, all right. So it's 2013. We're in a hotel. Eliza Lamb is a 21-year-old college student from Canada traveling alone through California. She checks into the Sicily, I think it's Sicily, Elf Hotel in downtown Los Angeles. So this hotel has a reputation. I'm going to tell you some background on the hotel. This hotel is a historic 14-story Dwar Arts building in downtown Los Angeles, California. It opened in 1927 as a luxury destination. It becomes infamous for decades of suicides, crimes, and mysterious death that made it one of the most notorious hotels in the United States. Its dark past has inspired documentaries and fictional works, including Crime Scene, The Vanishing at the Cecil Hotel, and American Horror Story Hotel. It is a you can still go to this hotel.
Yeah.
and go inside this hotel. It is now used as an apartment hotel.
An apartment hotel? What is that?
Like hotel apartments. Like it went from being a hotel that it's now like apartments.
Oh, okay.
Like long-term stay things. Yeah.
Extended stay?
Yeah. Or it's just apartments and they keep the hotel part because of its thing. But it was built for over $1 million. There's 700 rooms. The Great Depression devastated its clientele, and its location near Skid Row gradually filled it with a long-term residence and translucent guests, transforming it from a symbol of prosperity into a setting of urban poverty and crime. Between 1927 and the 1970s, at least 16 recorded deaths occurred on the premises, many by suicide. Solved murders added to its grime lore, including that of the Pigeon Goldie in 1964. Serial killers Richard Ramirez, an Australian journalist turned murderer Jack, don't know that last name, both stayed there during their killing sprees. So it's because of its low cost that, guests go so unnoticed. But so we're gonna jump back into it. So that's some history
some
on
lore behind that hotel.
So it's old, it's creepy, it's just a little uncomfy.
It's like the motel up the street or
But
the street from us.
As a 21-year-old college student, traveling, you kind of go for something cheap. You want to do something cheap so that you can buy souvenirs. You can go do other things that are more important.
I don't know if I would go.
If it doesn't cost that much and you don't really
within 10 feet of that place.
but you know the reputation now. Do you think if you were just looking for hotels, you would just see a hotel for its price and be like, oh, dang, that looks like a cool hotel. Let me just do that hotel.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
So she is documenting her trip. She's active online. She's sharing all these updates like any normal traveler. Like she's having the time of her life, enjoying what she's doing. So after a few days being in Los Angeles, something kind of changes in her demeanor. She isn't posting anymore. She's not calling. She's not checking in, with any of her friends. No texts, no posts on Instagram. Nothing showing, hey, here's the kind of like when we did our honeymoon. We posted day 1, day 2, day 3.
Yeah.
She's not doing that anymore. She just has quit cold turkey. And so, as a parent of someone who's traveling alone and you don't see them and they're not calling you back, they're not texting you back, of course you're going to get worried.
Yeah.
So they're really frantic. And so they decide that they're going to report her missing. So when they report her missing, of course, I don't know where her parents are. I don't know if they're in Canada and they're calling all the way to Los Angeles, but you can call you can call for wellness checks.
Yeah.
People can do that. For other people, you're like, hey, I just need a police officer to stop by, make sure that everything's okay.
Well, we had a wellness check happen on us because my little brother called 911 one time.
Why did he call 911?
Because we're like prank calling.
You prank called 911?
No, he misunderstood me because I was joking. Let's call 921. And then my brother ran it and grabbed the phone and did it. And so.
Oh, instead of typing 921, he put 911?
Yeah.
Nice. Were your parents home?
No.
No? Did they know that happened?
Yes, because the officer showed up and we had to call them and be like, you guys can't do this. So it was not a good time for us.
Did you get in trouble?
Yeah, I got in trouble for it because I was supposed to be watching them. So.
Ooh.
Yeah. So.
You didn't say, I didn't tell him to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of
defensive a little bit.
Defensive with the dispatcher, and so. I got in trouble for that. So.
Wow. Crazy. I've never heard that story before.
Yep.
Well, so they search the hotel. You get this, and so for any of those who don't know, you have to be missing for 24 hours before.
You can report someone missing.
Correct. Or you have to have no contact for 24 hours. Like, there has to be 24-hour increment before the police will get involved, unless it's a child under a certain age. If a child is prone to run away or is prone to leave, they're less likely to immediately start an investigation. They will also want to wait the 24 hours. And so, because it had been a few days, I think they immediately went to the hotel to search for her because it
Yeah.
had been a few days. Now, if it had been a few days and they called and they were like, hey, something's off, they would have been like, okay, we'll wait 24 hours. So either way, the hotel was searched and there was nothing. There were
Her
no
bags and
answers.
everything were gone.
You're going to ask me that question.
Well, I mean, you said there was no trace
Okay.
of her.
Well, no, there's nothing to find. Like, she
Yeah, so
wasn't
that
there.
means they're all of her stuff is gone.
So no, her belongings were still in the hotel.
Oh, okay.
Her luggage and her personal items were left behind. There was
So
no
then
sign
that
she
that
packed
really
up to
made
leave. Like, there was no sign that she left
so
the
that made
forever
them
home.
really suspicious.
Yeah, it didn't look like she checked out or planned to go anywhere. That's one of the things that kind of makes it unsettling.
Yeah.
So there is elevator footage of her that you can
That night or the day she disappeared.
that you can go look at on YouTube. Like, you find it. So the police released security footage, and it shows her in an elevator shortly before she vanished. What you see is unsettling. She presses multiple buttons, steps in and out repeatedly, kind of like she is either disoriented and doesn't know where she's going. Like, she presses, goes out, comes back in.
So she's like out of it.
Yeah, or she's hiding from something. Like, it looks like she could be hiding from something.
Yeah.
The way that she's just carrying herself. Like, she'll peek into the hallway. It's a really scary. Like, it's something that you would see like on a horror movie of someone doing before they the slasher comes or whatever. At one point, she stands completely still, like she's waiting for someone. The elevator door doesn't close for a long time. And this footage, it goes viral when they release it, trying to get any information. And so people online are asking, what was she seeing in the hallway that we couldn't when she was peeking out or when she was doing all the things? Like, what's there?
Yeah.
Like, also, what's going through your mind? Like, what makes you want to press all those buttons and then go on multiple floors and look out? So, days later, the hotel guests start complaining the water pressure's low, the water tastes bad, it looks discolored. And so maintenance goes up to the rooftop to check the water tanks. And that's where
And they find her body.
her body was inside one of the water tanks. However, I don't think there's any actual footage of her going up to the roof.
Yeah.
This is where it gets really eerie. Like, keep in mind, how easy is it to get to the roof of a hotel building?
It's not.
Typically, the stairs that access to get to the roof,
Any building. I've been to multiple buildings
doesn't
where
exist.
we have to
It's not
go through security or get someone to get the key to get to the roof access.
Yeah, the roof access is not accessible to just anybody. So the roof had limited access. The water tank lids were heavy. They're not just going to be something you can easily just
lift off and
Yes,
the
and she's a
body.
21-year-old female. Like,
Yeah,
she's not very big. She is.
so
She
it definitely
is.
wasn't her.
Yeah. I don't think it was her. No clear explanation for how she got inside, because if they had to open the tank, means that it was closed,
Yeah,
So it's not like she opened it to look and she like fell in and it closed behind her, which showed that it was open. And there was no signs of obvious outside involvement. So like there was nothing that showed that
so
anybody else was
supernatural
there.
is going on here.
Yeah. So her death was ruled an accidental drowning. Means she was alive when she fell in. Because you have to breathe in the
Yeah,
water.
yeah.
And if you have already been passed away, you can't
It's
inhale
not
water.
going to be in her lungs.
Yeah, it wouldn't be in her lungs. And for them to say it was an accidental drowning, they would have had to find water in the lungs.
Yeah,
So it was suggested that she may have been experiencing a mental health episode and climbed into the tank herself.
how does she get the lid off?
I don't know. I can show you what she looks like. This is what she looks like. Do you think that she could potentially, like those are the water tanks. Like
There's no way.
those are the water tanks that she was found in.
Wow.
And that's like
There's no way she could have gotten that off by herself.
no, you don't think so?
No.
I don't think so either. But there's no way to really know because there's nothing there. No one robbed her for stuff. Like,
Unless it's like one of those moments where it's the mom lifting in the car to save her child.
people debate to this day, was she alone? Was someone else involved? What explains her behavior in the elevator? Like, one of the reasons this case is so still talked about and viral is due to the video. And I'll show you the video when we get done. So that's like kind of it. Like that's all we have. And it's
all we
still
have.
unsolved. I mean, because they called it an accidental drowning, there's no murder.
Yeah.
There's truly actually no real murder to go find. There's no murderer to go look for. So technically it is considered a closed case because they called it an accidental drowning, but could it have still been open? Like, could there potentially have been someone that got to go free and however got like the best crime, committed the perfect crime, I guess? Like, didn't get caught,
Yeah.
But also, why?
Why drown her on the roof?
Well, why push her in
Yeah.
or throw her in? But also, why would someone follow? Like, it either had to be a random act,
Yeah.
like someone she had a complete stranger, or it had to be someone she knew that she met up with that followed her. So, like, those are typically the kind of people that are most likely to commit a crime.
Yeah.
Like a stranger or someone you know. Those are your two options, really, truly. But so Eliza Lamb's story is one of those cases where when you're given even when you're given an answer, it doesn't feel like the whole story.
No.
Like it still feels like there's things missing.
Like it could have been one of the hotel staff.
It could have been because how did she get on the roof?
Yeah.
Like someone had to let her. Now, I think there might have been a ladder on the side of the building that maybe she could have accessed it through there, but I can't remember where she got off on the video, like the elevator video, to know what floor she got off on. But that still doesn't mean she uses stairs.
Yeah.
But I feel like they would have shown footage of her leaving the hotel if they had it,
Definitely.
So I don't know. So what do you think? Was it a tragic accident or something missing?
There's too much going on here for it to be an accident.
Yeah, you think so? Yeah, no. As
Someone redacted some footage that works there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna play the video for you, and then we'll get your reaction. Okay. So
Wow.
actually, the footage. So I misinformed. The elevator doors never shut.
Yeah.
She gets on them. She presses buttons. She goes in and out of it. It never actually goes to a different floor. So I
And
was
she's like moving her hands around like she's either talking to herself or there's someone out of footage. But you don't see any shadows of anyone standing.
Well, no, but that doesn't mean that you wouldn't. But yeah, so it's.
Well, you can see her shadow.
But so now that you've seen the video, do you potentially change your mind on what you think? Do you think something's missing, or do you think it was an accident?
There's too much going on there to think.
So you don't think it was a?
No, it's definitely not an accident.
You still think it's something sinister
Yeah.
behind it? Okay. Yeah. Well,
She's either talking to someone or talking to herself.
that's crazy.
She's moving her hands around like she's having a mental attack.
Well, that's what they think, and so that's why they think that she must have thought something about going to the roof, you know, kind of like the movie we watched or the TV show that we watched where he had a mental health thing and he wanted to go outside into the garden with nothing on. And he was like, Venus, and he's trying. So maybe her thoughts were, I need to get to the roof. I need to get as close to the sky as possible.
Yeah.
So maybe she went up to the roof. I still don't see how the water tank could have gotten open, though.
Yeah.
That part is still like, she probably could have lifted it, but for it to close behind her, I don't know. I don't know how water tanks work. So, but it's very interesting. There's a very interesting, mysterious event.
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to do a second one, or do you? Because they're the way that I got them edited was they're pretty short things. But do you want to do the other case or no?
We do what you want to do.
Want to do.
What's the other case?
The other case was the disappearance of Brian Schaefer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Imagine going out with a normal night of friends, being seen on camera walking into a bar, and then never ever being seen again, despite cameras covering the only exit.
What do you think?
It's up to you. Do you want to hear it?
Sure.
Okay. All right. So, it's a night out, going to the bar with your friends. It's April 2006
Yeah.
in Columbus, Ohio.
So this is 20 years ago.
Yeah, exactly 20 years ago. Like, it just had the anniversary not too long ago.
Yeah.
Brian Schaefer is a 27-year-old medical student. He's smart, he's social. You know, he's also about to go on vacation with his girlfriend from, you know, like they had plans.
Yeah.
He's not, to my knowledge, going to up and disappear on anybody, you know? And, you know, to be a medical student, you got to be pretty smart. And that's, you know, how people described him. That night, he goes out with friends to celebrate the start of spring break. You're in school, gonna take, you know, about to go on spring break with my girlfriend, gonna have one last night with the boys before I'm gone for a week, won't get to see them, type of thing. And they end up at a bar called the Ugly Tuna Saloon.
Ugly Tuna Saloon.
Yeah, it's a college spot. Very, very college spot. And everything seems normal. Everything is going good. The last footage that we have is around 1:55 a.m. Security cameras capture Brian talking with two women outside the bar, laughing, relaxed, nothing unusual. Very, very normal conversation. Then he turns and he walks back inside into the bar. Maybe he went out I don't know if he smoked. Maybe he took a smoke break.
Yeah.
Maybe he just needs some fresh air. It was loud, noisy. It's about to be spring break. Everybody's at the bar. Maybe he just needed a breather. Went outside, saw some females, talked to him a little bit, and then he turned around and walked back inside. That's the last confirmed sighting of him. The part that makes this case so creepy is the bar had cameras covering the entrance and exit, and police reviewed the footage carefully. They see him go in, but they never see him come out. Not through the exit, not through the entrance, which are basically kind of your same door. Nothing. He's just gone.
Wow. They never found a body or anything.
He just vanished inside. His friends leave without him, assuming he already went home.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if they saw him come back in. That I don't know. They could have seen him go out and they didn't see him go back inside and thought he just went home. But Brian never makes it back. He misses his flight the next morning. He doesn't contact anyone. His phone goes straight to voicemail. For someone who has these plans set in place and going to medical school, like to be a doctor of some sort, having plans, not answering your phone, having it go straight to voicemail, and missing the flight to go on vacation with your girlfriend and not telling anyone anything seems kind of out of the norm.
Yeah.
Very, very strange. Here are the theories that people have. He left through a different exit. Now, there was a back construction exit, but no footage confirms it.
Had to have gotten dragged out that way.
So you think he was dragged out? You think something happened and he was dragged out? Or that
Yeah.
maybe he stumbled out that way? Because keep in mind, you're drinking.
Yeah.
Could have been drunk, stumbled out there, and then, I don't know, fell into something.
Construction site, so fell into it and it's part of the building now.
So the other is foul play inside or outside the bar. Did something happen that cameras didn't catch that we just can't see based on the angle of the camera?
Yeah.
You know, maybe there was a confrontation inside with somebody and they said, let's take it outside.
Yeah.
And he's gone. And he chose to disappear to start a new life, but he left everything behind. I feel like that's kind of hard to do.
Yeah.
To my knowledge, there was no transactions or anything on his cards to like withdraw money. So no money. Just
vanished.
Yeah. So I feel like it's hard to kind of vanish with no money.
Yep.
And it makes sense if you see someone withdraw a large amount and be like, oh yeah, this is yeah. So other people say it's an accident. Could something have happened after he left unnoticed? But none of these fully explain the biggest question. How do you go into a crowded bar and never come out on camera?
Snuck through with the crowd.
So here's something. Months later, Brian's phone actually rings when his girlfriend calls it. Just once. Then it goes dead again. No explanation on why.
Interesting.
So Brian Schaefer walked into a bar full of people, music, and cameras, and somehow became one of the most baffling disappearances ever recorded. So what do you think? Did he leave that bar, or did something happen inside?
I think he ended up in the construction site and it's part of the building now.
You think he's part of the building? That's an interesting take.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they mean that the construction site when they say it wasn't confirmed. I'm curious if it was like it says, but no footage confirms it. So either there's a back construction exit. But also, if you're doing construction on your building, why are you having people come in to drink? I feel like that's interesting. I don't know. I feel like you should still be able to see the exit. I don't know. But yeah, those were our mystery podcast episodes.
Mystery.
Mm-hmm. It gave me some cases, some good disappearing cases. A lot like the first case that they gave me, And the first case that it gave me was a murder of someone who was 8 months pregnant. I was not comfortable doing that. Then it gave me the murder of a motivational speaker and salesman. And it was kind of like Baby Reindeer, which I don't think you'll get that reference, but then there was like another. I asked for another case, and it gave me one about a kid, and then I asked for another one because I didn't want to do one about a kid, and then it gave me the very, very famous the murder of Shannon Watts and her daughters, and I'm like, okay, please give me one without children. Because I was like not comfortable in doing that. Maybe eventually when I work myself up to it, I might be able to, but as of right now, it is not something I
I think you
want to
picked
do.
some good cases.
Yeah. I think I want to do more like disappearance mystery cases. But like unsolved, maybe more unsolved cases.
Yeah.
Where you don't know. However, those can be kind of scary because if they're unsolved and it's a murder, then you're like, that person's still out there somewhere, and I don't like that, and I don't know if I want to do those, like, close to us going to bed, where I'm gonna have, like, dreams about it. What I'm probably gonna have to do if we do those unsolved ones, I'm probably gonna have to watch, like, some Disney movie after. You're just gonna have to sit with it. But, no, I liked the 2 cases that I had, and I didn't know if we were gonna have time to do both, but we actually were able to do both because they were super detailed.
Yeah.
I could have been a little bit more detailed in it. If you guys want more details, I can go into it, but I feel like certain details we don't always need. You know, if this was solely based a true crime podcast, you want the details. You're there for the details because you know it's true crime.
Yeah.
But because we're only doing this, you know, every so often to kind of, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know the word I'm looking for. That's not our brand, I guess.
Yeah.
That's the word I'm looking for. So I don't think details are super necessary. If you guys would like them, I can add them. Honey, if you would like to hear more details, I will
I think it
add
was
them.
good. I think it was good.
Yeah. I just think sometimes we can just know someone got murdered and they're what the what's the person who does the autopsies?
The
Mortician? No. Who's the person who does autopsies? I know there's a
golly,
name for it. The
I can't think
coroner.
of the coroner, yeah.
Okay. The coroner. We can say cause of death by the coroner.
Theory, yeah.
I think that's a good enough detail than doing anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let us know what you think. If you thought that, you know, you liked it, you didn't like it, this is not something that you want us to do ever again. I enjoyed it because I do like true crime. I do like mysteries. I do like those kinds of things myself. And so I enjoyed telling the story. It's kind of like telling a ghost story a little bit. So I enjoyed it, but I would love to know your guys' opinion. Babe, what was your opinions? Like, I know you said I picked some good stuff, but overall, like, do you feel like you kind of learned something new, learned about a case you never heard of, or
Most
just,
of them I've never heard of, so interesting to exercise on what we think happened.
yeah,
So,
what we think happened?
yeah.
Yep, just if you ever see me in an elevator pressing many buttons, just go ahead and check the roof. That's all I gotta say. Go straight to the roof.
I go on elevators all the time.
Yeah.
It's my job.
All right. Well,
Thanks for joining us.
we'll catch you next time.
Yeah.
Have a good week, guys. Bye.
Bye.